The new Kamala Harris they rolled out doesn't even exist. They rolled out a brand new mannequin. She looks better, she acts better, but they've added no new actual information to Kamala 2.0 that they rolled out. She just is a little more media savvy. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the Happy Patriots are. Like, subscribe, and share.
There are reports that say that you have the lowest approval rating of any vice president.
Well, there are polls that also say I have great approval ratings.
Swing voters don't like Harris. How big a drag is Kamala Harris on the ticket?
She's a pretty big drag. I think she was arguably Biden's worst political decision.
Drag on the campaign. That was years ago, right? It was 2 months ago. She was the least popular vice president ever. That's who Kamala was before they started doctoring her up. See, there was no pressure to fix her because she was just invisible vice president. They weren't going to run her. Now that they're running her, they had to take her in the back room and do a complete new job on her to roll this person out for dumb sucker young voters.
I think Kamala Harris is dangerous to me because she is the ultimate puppet for an organization that has, I believe, since President Obama, not actually run real people.
None of them are real. That's Victoria Shanahan, RFK Jr.'s running mate, who will be joining the Trump campaign.
She's an extremist. She'll say anything. She's much more like Gavin Newsom than I ever realized. I could go through a whole litany of why what she's saying is not true. It wasn't an armed mob. There's not one person inside the Capitol with a firearm, period.
Contrast Kamala, the made-up Kamala, with the real Trump. Trump, lumps and all. You can say what you want of him, but that's who that guy is. That's kind of why the media has such an easy time poking at him, because that really is Trump. He can't be something else. And by the way, our party did not want Trump. Conservatives and Republicans and rhinos and people on the right, we did not put together this small pool of puppets who just do what we say. That's not how we work. That's how the left works. That's what they do since Obama, is they have a tiny group of these washed, the fake porcelain teeth, Gavin Newsom, good looking, slick back hair. And we have Trump. Look at him. But he's real. That's what this election's about. The real versus the people who don't even exist.
They don't like her. There's lots of reasons they don't like her.
Kamala Harris's approval rating is now at 28%, which is an historic low for any modern vice president.
We're hearing it from mainstream media, one outlet after another, one leak after another. The Kamala Harris is the worst vice president ever, the worst politician ever.
That's Democrats talking about the real Kamala Harris. I just want to contrast that to if Trump, and he united the party at the RNC. He got never Trumpers to come in and come on board and say, we're going to join your plan. Just like RFK came in and said, we're going to join your plan. But they're joining a plan of a real person. Donald Trump is real. Kamala does not exist.
They have selected amongst a very small group of individuals that they can control and dictate policy over.
And I would argue that the control is shown in who they rolled out at the DNC. That was a different Kamala. Much better polished, much more the makeup job, the hair. She doesn't pause as much, even though they're still condescending. Doesn't pause as much. They're fixing her. Less cackle. Kamala 2.0, this new person that they have newly invented, and they pretend like she did not exist before last week. They think you're dumb.
We don't see the vice president. What people are saying to me, and I'm sure they're saying it to you, where's the vice president? Some White House officials are feeling that she came off looking unprepared for inevitable questions about when she might visit the southern border.
We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
They literally can just say, I've been to the border when she hasn't been to the border. She was so missing and so absent, they put her on the side of a milk carton. That's Democrat. CNN did that. And they think you're dumb. They're going to memory hold her. They're like, she was always this good. She was always awesome.
I don't think Kamala Harris is somebody who will sit here and tell you how she feels. I think that human capacity of hers has long gone.
Yes.
I think that what she now represents is using messaging. And this is the part that worries me the most, is that she uses messaging to get populations of young, unknowing, innocent people to join her on these false virtue signal ambitions and actually take on policies that will eventually really hurt them in the future.
The young people are going to vote for this. And that's why I have very little sympathy for when it all comes down on their head. They're going to pay the price. They're going to eat it. We're going to get in prison. They're going to remove families. They're going to do all of that. And I'm only saying you voted for it, and it's because you're kind of dumb and you believed you ate what was given to you. There's that old mafia saying, never eat what is given to you.
His explicit intent to set free violent extremists who assaulted those law enforcement officers at the Capitol.
And this woman's really scary. She could easily get elected president. She's much more skillful than I have ever seen. She's a liar on the deepest level. The things she is saying right now are not just untrue, they're the opposite of the truth, which is the hallmark of evil.
The point that Lester Holt was making was obvious to anyone else who was watching this interview, which is that the issues at the border are inextricably linked with the portfolio that she's been given.
The border is secure. We have a secure border.
Bidenomics is working.
She's literally saying the opposite of what's true. She knows it's false, but they're just like, look, just say the lines. Media goes, we got this. We'll cover for you. They're dumb. They'll go for it. Just offer them a free house.
My mother is from communist China. I grew up hearing about what the famine was like in communist China.
Right. Well, she's going to do price controls at supermarkets, so we don't have to worry about that.
But that is exactly how you get to a famine. I mean, this is...
I know.
This is the basics. This is communism 101.
We're all laughing in despair, just going, guys, are we going to vote for communism? That's what it is. You get the leaders you deserve, guys.
Prices have gone up. And families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up.
He picked Kamala Harris to be his running mate. She was ranked and is ranked as the most liberal senator in the United States Senate. So he could have gone the other way, but he went to the left.
That's liberal Michael Moore. And yes, he did go to the left. And she's telling you, she's linked to the last 4 years, and she's telling you prices are going up. Prices are up right after, of course, the week before. She's going like, Bidenomics is fine. The economy's good. You saw it. Kamala said it. Prices are going up. Costs of gas are going up. Food prices are going up. And you voted for it.
And that is a time in any
sophistry. Your example on craft. Your example on craft is even worse.
You finished first. In any of the states around the country that already have price gouging.
That's CNBC that are absolutely not pro-Trump. But he's getting Elizabeth Warren feeding him garbage about Kraft gouging profits during this time. That's one of the things that they're running on, which if you punish Kraft and if you punish food companies and call them gouging when they have a 1% profit margin, food lines, when the food lines come, I'm going to send this video to you and your kids and grandkids. Send it to them and say you voted for food lines.
Can I tell you why that those are fallacious and misleading at best? And your Kraft analogy is even, why can't I tell you? Please let me tell you. Kraft, you say, was 440% profit increase. The example you used, the prior quarter from the year before, they had a charge of $1.3 billion, an accounting change which wiped out profits. Then they earned what they normally. Let me finish now. They earned.
You didn't let me finish.
I love how exhausted he is, because that's what they do. They put up a pretty bright old lady, Elizabeth Warren, smiling. She's so kind. She's going to lecture you on why you have to let her destroy the country. This is an economist telling her, you're lying. He said she's facetious. She's misleading to her face. And they're going to sit there and lecture you while they throw you in prison. It's for your own good. You did this. You're radical and deplorable. Bye-bye. And I mean it with kindness. You know, Kamala's like, Joy, you go to prison.
Look at the data. Come on. We have economic study now after economic study.
This is the way it always goes.
When there is more concentration,
40 million eggs were destroyed because of avian flu.
When there is more concentration in an industry, we have seen much greater increases in
do you attribute
the
inflation?
Markets.
That's what you think we need to do to solve it?
They're not random. They are not random one-offs.
She has no interest in this guy because he disagrees with him. And by the way, I got to say to this CNBC guy who's probably going to vote for Kamala Harris, I don't know if he's going to vote for Trump or not. You vote for Kamala Harris, you will deserve going to prison.
It is part of the problem when you've got companies that are gouging consumers on prices. Consumers need to know they've got somebody on their side.
Senator,
and
listen, we're trying to help. We're trying to actually do.
Where are you in the 37 states that currently have price gouging laws?
Just quickly on that point, Senator Warren,
can you
they're going to bring in that third lady, and she's not going to be any help to Elizabeth Warren. But you can't even speak basic economics. He's using facts and data, and she's just doing the Democrat. You know, Elizabeth Warren, she doesn't exist either. She's a zombie. Her mouth just moves, and they just pour communism into her head, and it blows out in your face.
This is Kelly here. Can I just clarify how this would work?
This is the way you never lose an argument, because no one can ever say anything back to you, Senator.
The state price gouging laws.
Yeah, the left is not open to data. That's why the whole DNC was a waste. That whole thing, that was for leftists and Democrats, okay? They did not move that mark toward Kamala one bit. The people already in her pocket are very excited. The question is, and the people in Trump's side, very excited against Kamala Harris and for Trump. The question is, will the middle buy this crap? And I hope they start paying attention. Here's Tucker.
But what she's saying is the mirror image of the truth. She doesn't care. She's got no reference points in the truth, and she's an extremist.
I hope you'll share this, leave a comment below to multiply this out on whatever platform you're watching. I'm Doug in Exile.